It's 2026, 16 years since Storage Wars premiered. And the sad reality of the original cast? Their lives look nothing like what fans imagined. Daryl Sheets, the gambler who had to fold. Daryl Sheets brought energy to every auction. The gambler, loud, bold, fearless. With his booming voice and go big or go home attitude, he was a fan favorite from day one. Viewers loved watching him take massive risks, often winning or losing thousands of dollars on a single bid. His greatest moment? Finding a unit filled with Frank Gutierrez artwork valued at $300,000, one of the most legendary finds in Storage Wars history. That's the Daryl fans remember. The winner, the risk-taker, the gambler who always seemed to beat the odds. But here's what they don't show you. In early 2019, Daryl started feeling chest pain after what seemed like a normal day. He was out fishing, enjoying life, when suddenly the pain hit. Brushed it off. Probably just indigestion. Happens to everyone, right? Wrong. Then came the massive heart attack that nearly killed him. Emergency surgery saved his life. Doctors placed stents in his arteries and told him he was lucky to be alive. During recovery, Daryl revealed something shocking to fans. He'd been dealing with congestive heart failure and serious lung issues for 3 full months before the attack. 3 months of warning signs: shortness of breath, fatigue, chest tightness, all ignored. He kept pushing through auctions, kept bidding, kept gambling with his health the same way he gambled on storage units. Recovery meant wearing a defibrillator vest constantly, a physical reminder that his heart could stop without warning. Imagine living like that, every day wondering if this is the day. 1 month after surgery, doctors reported his heart function had improved to 40%. Better than the critical levels he'd been at, but nowhere near normal. The gambler who once bet everything on questionable lockers finally learned that some risks aren't worth taking. As of 2026, at 65 years old, Daryl has stepped back significantly from Storage Wars. He makes occasional appearances when his health permits, but the days of big bids and adrenaline rushes are over. He focuses on his health and spending time with family now. The sad reality? Fame gave Daryl an adrenaline-fueled lifestyle his body couldn't sustain. The constant pressure to perform, to be the gambler, to make big bids for good television nearly killed him. And it still might. Brandy Passante, the single mother who rebuilt from ruins. For years, Brandy Passante was half of the Young Guns. Her and Jared Schultz were Storage Wars' most watched couple. But behind the scenes, their relationship was crumbling. By 2018, they'd split. Kept it private for 2 years while continuing to work together. April 2021. Jared was arrested and charged with misdemeanor domestic violence battery related to Brandy. The charge ended his career. A&E cut ties immediately. Months later, Brandy posted a tattoo. The word "free with a bird" flying away. She wrote about escaping a difficult situation and living without fear. Those words told the story cameras never captured. As of 2026, Brandy has completely rebuilt. She continues on Storage Wars, standing on her own. In 2024, she went public with boyfriend Clifford Beaver. The posts show genuine happiness. The sad reality? Brandy spent 18 years with someone who would be charged with violence against her. Fame trapped her in a relationship she stayed in too long because of the show. Jared Schultz, the fall nobody saw coming. The domestic violence charge destroyed Jared's career overnight. Storage Wars dropped him. His thrift stores had already closed despite TV publicity. As of 2026, Jared owns a bar in Lake Forest and keeps an extremely low profile. Has girlfriend Rochelle Beckman. But the man who once made thousands per episode is now just a bar owner people don't recognize. His children Cameron and Peyton watched their parents' relationship dissolve on TV, then watched their father face charges against their mother. At 51, Jared is proof that fame can't fix the person underneath. Dave Hester, the man who sued himself into oblivion. Dave Hester's "You-Up" became iconic. He played the villain perfectly. Then, in 2012, he sued A&E claiming Storage Wars was rigged. The lawsuit dragged on for years. Legal fees piled up. His business collapsed. When it settled, the payout was minimal. But the real tragedy? The lawsuit destroyed his relationship with son Dave Jr., who eventually changed his name on social media to escape the connection. In 2018, Dave suffered a serious stroke requiring weeks of rehab. As of 2026, Dave does small-scale auctions. The empire is gone. The fame is gone. The relationship with his son may never heal. Dave had everything and destroyed it, chasing vindication. Barry Weiss, the collector, forever changed. Barry Weiss was Storage Wars' coolest character. Vintage gloves, custom vehicles, Sherman tanks. For Barry, auctions were entertainment, a hobby for a wealthy retired guy. April 2019. Barry was out on his motorcycle. A car pulled out without looking. The impact launched Barry into the air. Paramedics thought he was dead. 9 hours of surgery, broken ribs, punctured lung, fractured spine, shattered femur, week in a coma. When he woke up, couldn't remember the accident. Still can't. 2 months in intensive care. Learning to walk again at 71. Doctors said no more motorcycles. Ever. Barry's girlfriend of 30 years was on that bike. The crash broke her back. 3 years of rehab later, their relationship was over. 3 decades together, gone. As of 2026, Barry lives with chronic pain and a permanent limp. The driver got a ticket for unsafe lane change. Barry's life of freedom ended in one moment, treated like a parking violation. The cast members we lost. Mark Balelo took his own life in 2013. Behind the Rico Suave persona, Mark struggled with methamphetamine addiction. 2 days after his arrest, his girlfriend found him dead in his car. Carbon monoxide poisoning. He was 40. When Mark died, 12 employees lost their jobs overnight. Gunter Nezoda passed in March 2023, stage 4 lung cancer. By the time they caught it, too late. He was 67. The store he ran with son Renee closed 6 months later. The survivors still standing. Renee and Casey Nezoda are among the few still on Storage Wars in 2026. But losing Gunter devastated Renee. Every day at the store is a reminder. Customers still ask about his father. Ivy Calvin appeared regularly, then occasionally, then gone. Behind the scenes, health concerns led him to step back. As of 2026, he runs his store and stays out of the public eye. Dan and Laura Dotson were the auctioneers. In 2014, Dan collapsed from a brain disorder. Laura's CPR saved him. In 2020, their son Garrett was shot. As of 2026, they're still working, but they've buried friends and nearly lost their own lives. What fame really cost? Looking at the original Storage Wars cast in 2026, a clear pattern emerges. Relationships destroyed. Businesses failed despite massive publicity. Health suffered under constant pressure. Some died, others barely survived. Daryl nearly died from a heart attack brought on by years of stress. Barry will never be the same after his accident destroyed his body and his relationship. Brandy spent 18 years trapped in a relationship that ended with domestic violence charges. Jared destroyed his career and his family in one explosive moment. Dave lost his empire and his son chasing vindication. Mark and Gunter are gone forever.